How do you use the work that you did in due diligence to your advantage? So while you might be compiling a list of 100 or 200 rent agreements, what you have to really understand is, why am I doing the due diligence? The standard explanation that you are given is, okay, you need to understand whether the company's business is going on in a proper manner. You need to identify what are the risks. Yes, this is fine. But the point is, why is this being done? What is the bigger picture? Usually you will not have a situation where a company will call a law firm and say, hey, this is the bunch of legal documentation we have, and can you please go through all of these and identify what the risks are and point out to us. This is a very rare scenario. This kind of work is on a lot of occasions done internally inside the company. However, when a client approaches a law firm, either the client is considering making an investment into a company and the law firm is asked to do due diligence on the investee into which the money is being poured in, to identify whether there were any gaps or loopholes in the contracts so that these risks can be taken care of before the transaction is completed. Now, this is the story, but you need to be able to appreciate how the due diligence for each transaction can be different. At least the nuances that manifested in the due diligence you were undertaking. So the other aspect is, what is going to be the impact of your due diligence contractually? Where is the requirement to undertake due diligence coming from? And how does this factor in? When you suggest a strategy from your due diligence to mitigate risks, how does this manifest into the contractual documentation? This is really important. For example, commencing and completion of due diligence is always a condition precedent to the closing of a specific transaction. Now, when you go through any commercial contract, you will be able to identify what a conditions precedent clause stands for and what is meant by the closing. When you understand these terms and then you try to understand that, okay, this is where the requirement to undertake a due diligence is coming from, and this is the impact that the outcome of my due diligence will have on the transaction. My transaction may not close if all the risks I point out are not taken care of satisfactorily by the investee company. Now, if you understand it in this way, then what you are able to answer in your interviews will be remarkably different from what it would have been otherwise. I hope you found this useful. Feel free to share any comments or feedback